Whoa, what's going on, everyone? Adam here with PublishDrive. I hope that today is a good day for you, and I'm glad that you all can be here. So thank you for taking the time out. We got a good group showing up right now. Give me a second. And cool. Yeah, so we got a good group showing up right now, and hopefully you all could see me. GoToWebinar was acting up this morning, so hopefully everything's okay. Anybody on PublishDrive, from PublishDrive on the webinar, if something's going wrong, please Slack me so I can fix it. Hey, thank you for being here. While everybody's showing up, if you could do one thing or two things, go into the chat feature and tell me where you're from and what genres or genres, what genre or genres you write. It'd be good to hear from you. While this group is still coming in, I did want to mention a couple of things real quick. You know, I get asked, oh, good morning. Oh, thanks everybody for starting to come in. I do get asked a lot when I go to conferences or when I talk to just writers or people who want to be writers or whatever, if they should write a book. And as a writer, like, of course, why wouldn't you write a book? I mean, that's always my answer. Of course you should write a book. Why wouldn't you? But for some people, and maybe that's you out there who are attending this live or watching a recording, that you're unsure whether you should write a book or not. And I'll give you 3 reasons why you should. The first reason why you should write a book is because it gives you instant credibility. Whatever audience, target market, whatever you're trying to reach, a book will give you credibility to that target market. The number 2 reason why you should write a book is because of money. I'm a big fan of making money, and I haven't met anybody yet who said they've made enough. And so making money you can make money with books. Now, for those of you who are already authors or established authors, know that it's not an easy process for sure. That is true, but it is an avenue to make money and sometimes passive income. I'm a big fan of doing something once and getting paid for it over and over. And then the third reason I think why you should write a book is because storytelling is powerful. You can lead and motivate and guide people through a story. Now, I don't know how it is for you guys, but it was for me growing up, or even now, that it was some of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned in life was either a story I read, a story somebody told me around a campfire or in a classroom or in a conference or whatever it is. But storytelling's powerful. So I encourage you, if you're on the fence about writing a book, to go tell that story. We know you have one in you, and we want you to tell it. Okay, we're going to get started here. Yeah, we got a great group. So thank you again for attending. I'm going to share my screen with you. And hopefully, this was acting up earlier today. Hopefully you could see me and my PowerPoint at the same time, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So let me share this with you. Okay, so we're here to talk about book marketing basics. Now, I know this is a big topic for most people, like in any industry. How do we sell more of our product? In our case, how do we sell more of our books? So this webinar is for people who are new to self-publishing, who are new authors, who are aspiring authors. Maybe you're an established author already, and maybe you just want to cover the basics to see, you know, where you stand. Maybe there's something you can improve. Wherever you are along in this process, we're going to talk about the book marketing basics, because I think once you get the basics down, once you go into paid advertising and everything else, it'll be a little bit easier for you. So now after the webinar, you're going to receive a recording of this. You're also going to receive a PDF of this PowerPoint, and then a book marketing checklist. Now, when you registered, you should have been able to grab, to download that book, that checklist already. If you didn't do it, don't worry, we're gonna send you one. But we want you to have it because these are the things that we're gonna discuss today. So I'm gonna give you a brief introduction of PublishDrive, I guess of myself as well. We'll go into the main content, and then at the end, we're gonna go into a question and answer. So if there's anything that I didn't cover, because I won't be able to get to everything in this short time that we have together, if there's anything that I miss, please just go into the chat feature and ask that question, and I'll get to it at the end of the webinar. So PublishDrive. PublishDrive is a global self-publishing ebook platform. We're an ebook platform for publishers and for self-publishers. So publishing houses use us, thousands of authors use us, and we have tens and tens of thousands of books, titles within our platform already. Now, we get your book to 400 plus stores around the world. Now, that includes the big 5 here in the United States: Amazon, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, Kobo, and many, many, many more. Now, we started out as strictly as an ebook distributor, an ebook platform, but we may or may not in the coming weeks be having a big announcement about maybe the print side of things. Stay tuned for that. But currently we deal in ebooks, and we're very good at it. Now, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm an author success coach here with PublishDrive. And so if you have any questions, please reach out to me down the road. I'd love to connect with you either on Facebook, in our Facebook group. It's called PublishDrive's Facebook group is called Write More, Worry Less, or somewhere else at conferences or wherever you might be. We'd love to connect. So I get asked a lot. I was just in LA just this last week, and someone asked me again, what are the most common mistakes that you see authors make, especially in the beginning? And so I thought it was applicable here to cover that with you, what I see the most common mistakes that authors make, especially in the beginning. So the first one thing I wanted to talk about real quick are book covers. Authors make, I see constant mistakes with this. You have to have a great, captivating cover. This is one of your most important selling tools. If you have a bad cover, it doesn't matter how awesome your story is. Most of the time, you're not going to sell a book. They're not going to open it. We do judge books by their covers in this case. And so please have an awesome cover. Now, one of the mistakes, here are a few of the mistakes that people make with their book covers. The first mistake I see is that they do not, it doesn't look professional. The book cover looks like it was maybe pieced together like a 5-year-old had done it. And we see examples of this come through all the time in our platform. And it was too mean-spirited to actually show you what a bad cover looked like. But I wanted to at least describe it. So they look unprofessional, meaning that someone who didn't know what they were doing, not a graphic artist, not into book covers, pieced it together. Another problem that we see a lot with the cover is that there's not enough contrasting colors with the books. So there's nothing popping out. So I'll give you an example of a good cover that I like. Now, this is J.A. Conrad's book. Joe's a friend of PublishDrive, and so I usually use him through all of my examples. Thanks, Joe. Anyways, so this is a book he wrote called Bloody Mary, but notice how it's dark kind of in the background, lots of cool little blues throughout there, but that red drink pops, and then the wording pops as well. So there has to be some contrasting colors there. A lot of the time of what we see come through the platform is that it's not that. There's nothing contrasting, and it blends together, and it's hard to actually make out. There's nothing popping on the cover to focus on. And so make sure you do that. And so I think Joe did a great job with this, whoever did the cover for him. And another issue that we see that comes through is that when people are creating covers, they don't take into account that the majority of the time when people are looking for your book, they're going to be looking at a thumbnail, a smaller version of your cover, right? Like pictured here in on the PowerPoint. It's just a thumbnail. Even if I'm going to go buy the print cover, a lot of the times I'm buying it online. And so I'm looking at a thumbnail, or if I'm on a Kindle device, whatever device I'm on, I'm looking at a thumbnail. So be sure to take that into account, because a lot of the time what works on the print book, like the real life print version, won't work on a thumbnail. And so you have a harder time selling your book. So make sure you take that into account. A lot of the time we'll see great, fantastic images that turn out great on the cover itself, but they don't show up very well in a smaller picture of that. So make sure that you take that into account. Another common mistake, metadata. Now, for you newbies out there, metadata is the information behind your book. And oftentimes we see big mistakes with this, and this will affect your book sales. And so metadata is what makes your book discoverable in our online searches, or if you're like on Amazon or whatever it is, wherever you're searching for. It includes things like your title and subtitle, your author name. It'll include publication date. It also includes important things like book descriptions. Now, we can go into a whole webinar on book descriptions, but make sure your book description is good, and there's some great wording in there. And then two very important steps in metadata are your categories / called bisect codes, and the other one are keywords. You have to choose great keywords, but your bisect codes are very important. So for those of you who aren't familiar with that process, is when you go to upload a book in any platform, say on PublishDrive, you have to choose what category your book belongs into, and there are a number of subcategories. For example, if I write a children's book, then the start of my bisect code is going to start with juvenile fiction or juvenile nonfiction. If I'm writing a children's book, I do not want to place my book in the category of like mystery, thriller, adult fiction, if that makes sense, right? And so it's very crucial that you pick the right categories, those bisect codes. Now, we have a tool, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, to help you with that. When you upload a book into PublishDrive's platform, we actually built an AI tool, and it's constantly learning. It's really great. But basically what happens is once you upload your book, our AI, we call him Savant, or it's Savant. Savant will read through your book really quick and then make recommendations on which bisect codes you should choose. It's a cool little tool. You don't have to choose them, but it's a great way to compare as well. And Savant's getting smarter, so it's a really cool tool. So check that out. The next common mistake we see is formatting. Wow. Now we're talking things like if you're reading on an ebook, like on a Kindle or a Kobo device, like big gaps, like say in between paragraphs, or maybe if you have an image in there, the words are kind of screwed up around the image, stuff like that. So yeah, formatting issues are a big deal because people aren't, either if they're doing the conversion themselves into an EPUB file or MOBI file, what you need to have a digital book, they're not formatting correctly. So make sure that you're formatting all right. Now we just came out, this will be a cool tool for you. We came out with a free ebook converter to convert your manuscript into that EPUB or MOBI files that you need. And then you could actually see what it looks like. So try out the converter. We also with the converter is kind of a few steps to tell you what the most common mistakes are and how to fix them. And then we actually even have a blog post that will direct you exactly step by step how to fix your manuscript. Now, once you do it one time, you'll know how to fix it. It could be a pain in the beginning trying to figure out how to fix it, but you follow those steps and it makes your life a whole lot easier, especially down the road when you have a lot more books to upload. And then the last mistake that we see a lot is grammar. This affects your sales big time. One or two grammar mistakes, you're going to get a negative review, which will affect your book sales. So please make sure you have your manuscript edited. Now, there are two major headaches and problems in the world of self-publishing, and one of them or in the world of publishing, and one of them is just navigating the publishing process, the editing process, getting your cover done, getting your book into print and digital formats. That process, especially for self-published authors, you have to learn it, and it can be a headache. And I just did a webinar last month in December about that, so go check that out to get some tips on that. Now, today we're going to talk about the other stumbling block of publishing, and that's marketing. Like with any good product, you gotta be able to market this thing. And so hopefully, oops, sorry guys. Hopefully, there you go. So hopefully I'll be able to solve that problem for you. At least a few of those, right? Okay, so here are some book marketing basics. Now this is all in your checklist, and I won't be able to talk about all of them. However, if you have any questions about something specific, let me know in the Q&A. So we talked about metadata. We talked about having a killer cover. Really crucial in the beginning that you have an author media kit. I'm not going to talk about it here, but refer to that checklist for what that is. Your author website, author pages like on Amazon or Goodreads or Facebook, very important. You need to have an elevator pitch. You need to get reader reviews. So crucial to successful book sales. I would recommend a going wide strategy, and I'll talk about that. Holding book signings, really, really cool. Building your social platform, joining a community, getting podcast interviews. This is a cool little tool that I talk about. Building an email list and starting a newsletter, and using PublishDrive's free marketing features. They're free. Check them out. Take advantage of them. Now, I want to talk about an elevator pitch. And the reason I wanted to focus on this a little bit during this is because when I go to conferences, I talk to authors of all ranges, right? From just starting out to hugely successful. And a lot of the times they tell me, I ask them, hey, what do you write? What's your book about? And they'll go into a very long descriptive synopsis of their book. And these are very generally poorly done, and they lose me about a minute into it. And so I wanted to talk about the elevator pitch, because this will help you when you're talking to people about your book, when you're trying to sell it. So an elevator pitch is basically, it's just a 30 to 60 second synopsis of your book that leaves some kind of an exciting or meaningful impression. This is not, and it's not you're not going to be able to sell the book in this amount of time, right? You're not selling it, but it's just the purpose of this elevator pitch is just to leave some kind of curiosity, meaningful expression, meaningful thought, so that either they'll ask you more questions if you have a moment there, or they'll go look up your book later. So that's the purpose of an elevator pitch, not to sell the book on the spot, but to leave some kind of impact, okay? So that it'll draw curiosity. Now, every successful elevator pitch needs to have three things. It needs to be able, you need to be able to compare it to two famous authors. Okay, we get that. You need to be able to share something memorable so that they'll remember your book, right? That's the curiosity part here. And you got to keep it short. So for example, if I were to do an elevator pitch for Joe Conrad's book, Dirty Martini, it would go something like this. I would give a quick synopsis, compare it to famous authors, leave something memorable, and try to keep it short. So if somebody asked me, hey, or were to ask Joe, hey, what do you write, or what's your book about? I would say something like this. I write an awesome detective series about a woman named Jacqueline Daniels, but everyone calls her Jack for short. And so her name is Detective Jack Daniels, like the drink. It's pretty cool. But Jack is an excellent detective, but her life is in shambles, and it's really the job that keeps her going. Now, the book is kind of like a cross between James Patterson's Alex Cross series and Lee Child's Jack Reacher series. It's a really fun and cool book. And because I named Jacqueline Jack Daniels, I just thought all the books should be named after drinks. So Whiskey Sour, Dirty Martini, Bloody Mary, they're great books. I think you'll like it. You should check it out. So that's just a quick example of what an elevator pitch should be. And I probably rambled on a little bit. I should practice that a little bit more, so make sure you practice yours. But just notice that I gave a quick synopsis. I compared it to two famous authors. In this case, I just used James Patterson and Lee Child. Everybody knows who they are. And then I shared something memorable, like her name is Jack Daniels, and the books are called After Drinks. That's easy to remember, something memorable. And I tried to keep it as short as possible. So that's an elevator pitch. So I would practice those. And whenever you're on the spot and somebody goes, hey, what do you do for a living? This is a perfect opportunity. Oh, I'm a writer. I just wrote an awesome series, and go right into it. Okay. Next, very important, reader reviews. Try to get as many reviews as quick as possible. Now, there are a few different ways to do this. I have been accused of asking my friends or a few close family members to just go buy the book and leave me a quick review. You know, tell me what you think, but try to keep it as positive as possible. Now, obviously, that isn't always a way for you. We do have something on the platform on PublishDrive to help you get reviews, especially if you want to send your book to professional reviewers. And so on the platform, there's a really cool feature. If you go into the marketing tab on your dashboard in PublishDrive, and then click on review copies, And what we'll do is that we can send secured review copies to reviewers, to anybody who you want. It makes it so they cannot steal that file and send it to anybody else. It can't be duplicated. It only lasts for 28 days, and you can send it through stores like Google Play and Kobo and Apple Books, stores like that. But it's a great way to send your book to reviewers securely, knowing that no one's going to steal my book, right? Or duplicate my book. And so it's a great way to do it. And it's really simple in the platform. When you click on review copies, just select which book you want. And then really you select the store you want to send it through. So whatever device this reviewer has, whether it's on an Apple device or Google device or whatever it is, select that and then enter the email address or addresses, and that's it. It's super simple. But it's a great way for you not to, to know that your books are going to be safe if you send them to reviewers. It's a cool little thing. So check it out. Another thing we highly recommend is choosing a going wide strategy. Now, there is a world outside of Amazon, a big world for book sales. Now, we can't forget about Amazon. They're still the big dog in this. So we need to be on Amazon. But we encourage you to look. We know a lot of people sell exclusively in Amazon, but to look beyond that. Google Play, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, these guys are all making huge pushes, especially in this ebook world. So these are a great way to promote your books. And every time we've done a case study on this, we found that the authors make twice as much. Now, I know you might have a different strategy. For example, if you have a long series, maybe in Kindle Unlimited or something like that, in the Kindle Select program, whatever it might be. But we encourage you to look into a going wide strategy because it makes sense. The more places you have your book, that's more opportunities to sell your book. Now, the going wide strategy is not, as a standalone tactic, is not the best way to go, right? I mean, you can upload all of your books, that's great, and then send them to 1 million stores, but without actually letting people know that they can buy these books, like to change your marketing strategy a little bit to let them know that they can buy these books in other stores outside of Amazon. You have to let them know. So you just got to tweak your marketing strategy just a little bit when you decide to go wide, outside, beyond the Amazon world. I hope that makes sense. Another tool I wanted to show you that we have found to be so awesome, and it's a free tool, is to help you with selling books, is to get your book featured on platforms like Kobo and Apple Books and Scribd, Delo and Overdrive and many other stores like that. And basically what we mean by featured position is that when somebody's on one of those devices, your book pops up in that certain genre that they're looking through. It's a really cool way to get your book up there. For example, in December, Kobo was looking for some specific kind of books, kind of titles. And so we let you know, we let our user base know, and then we actually got 5 books featured in Kobo, which was really awesome for those authors. Now, obviously, we can't guarantee everyone will get featured. Like, it's up to the retailers to decide. But we got 5 of them last month featured, which was really awesome. And then a couple of months ago, in a romance genre, we got a book featured in Apple Books, and she ended up selling. She's a popular author, but she ended up selling about 5,000 more copies. And so the feature position is really cool. So definitely, it's free. So check it out. Try to get in as many times as possible. But it's really easy. When you go to the marketing tab in the dashboard, you click on featuring, really simple. You'll see a list of campaigns, like Overdrive is looking for this, Kobo is looking for this. And then if your title or titles fit that, then you just click on the campaign and fill out a form and then send that in. It's really easy. Obviously, we can't guarantee everyone gets selected by these retailers, but a lot of people are getting selected by these retailers. So we encourage you to take advantage of that. Oh, another thing I really wanted to talk about today, because it's a free and easy way. Well, the process is easy. It just takes some legwork to sell books, and that's through podcast interviews. I've had a lot of great luck with this, and I know a lot of other authors who've done really well. It takes some legwork, but it's free, so it's pretty cool. So what we mean by podcast, there are thousands and thousands of podcasts And I just read a statistic. I forgot what the number is, but it's an incredible number of new podcasts popping up every single day. And these people are looking for content, meaning people they need to interview, things they need to talk about. And oftentimes your book, the stories you write, whatever it is that you do, your branding will fit into what they're looking for. And so what I encourage you to do, because I've had a lot of great luck with this, is search for podcasts. Now you can do that. You just do Google searches. You can go through an iTunes podcast library, whatever it is. There's lots of ways to do it. Go search for podcasts. Then look for your genre or your niche within that podcast. Obviously, if it's a sports podcast and you don't write sports books, then this is probably not the right genre for you, if that makes sense. In fact, they'll get annoyed by that and just reject your email or whatever and say, what are you guys doing? Well, why would you even send me this? So find something that's within your genre. There's lots of sci-fi, lots of romance kind of podcasts where all of that kind of stuff will fit in. Okay. So whether you're nonfiction, fiction, it doesn't matter. There will be podcasts that fit kind of what you're doing, your genre and niche. Now, another tip is to niche, however you want to say it, is to look and dive deeper into that. So for example, if I write sci-fi or a space opera, but there's werewolves and vampires in space, there might be a podcast that would be perfect for that niche, because the more you can narrow it down, the better your target market is. So when you go onto that show, you're speaking directly to your target market and you'll sell books. So it's a cool little way to do it. It definitely takes some legwork though. And then after you do all of that, just start to reach out. So usually I just send them an email. They also have just messages boxes on maybe their website or whatever, and you just reach out to them. And then I try to follow up with a phone call if I can, if it's appropriate. And so do that, and I hope you have good luck. Let me know how it's going, or if you need any kind of tips and tricks. I've had great luck with this. So try it out. Another cool feature that we have that I wanted to share real quick before we end is social media. Social media is a powerful platform, and it's part of what I put in the list of building that platform, and it takes time. And we want to help you out with that, especially if you're new to social media, or maybe you're not very active on it, because you got to become active on social media if you want to use that as a platform to sell books. And we came out with a cool feature that's free. It's pretty cool. Under the marketing tab, if you click on the social media tab, basically what we'll do is we want to push out anything great that's happening. So if you've been selected for a BookBub campaign, or if you're running a big prize promotion, or if you won a competition and got an award, we want to hear about it. And what we'll do is push that through all of our social media channels. And our social media experts here are really good. And so basically all you do, it's really easy. You select the book and then just tell us what your story is. Like, why do you want us to share this? And, hey, I just won an award, blah, 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 blah. We'll push it through our channels and just say, hey, everyone check them out. So it's a really cool feature. So check it out. One other thing you'll see too is that we always have this box that says more to come. And today I was hoping to announce a very cool advertising feature that we have. I mean, it's awesome, but it won't be announced until Thursday, January the 31st. So stay tuned for that. I wish it was quite ready. We sent it out to people to beta test. So it'll be launched officially for the public on this Thursday. So stay tuned for that. We're super excited about it. Now, how do you start? If you want to use PublishDrive, go to our website, sign up. Super easy. It's free. Not going to cost you anything. Check it out. Now, let's get to questions. So let me turn this off. Let me let me exit the show here. Give me 1 second, guys. Turn that off. Share my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get to some questions. Now there's a lot. I'm just going to go through these. Oh, good morning. Lamar is from Tennessee. Hey, thanks for coming by. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Everyone's John asked, hey, I'm muted. I can't ask a question. If you have a question, please just type it into the box. It's easier that way. And so everyone can stay muted. Okay. Hey. Oh, wow. Lisbeth. I hope I'm saying that right. She's from Amsterdam. Welcome. I've been to the Netherlands. I love it there. Diana from New York. She writes about health chef healing books. I know this because I know Diana. Thanks for attending, Diana. Cher from Mobile, Alabama. Welcome. Thank you. Patricia from Pennsylvania. Thank you. Fantasy. And Julie's from Michigan. Okay. Nonfiction. Kansas City representing. 2 children's books, working on a book. Hey, nice, Lamar. And thank you guys. Thanks for saying hello. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the questions here. A lot of science fiction writers. It's such a huge genre. And romance. Romance is the biggest, but science fiction is so big. Oh, hey, Kevin, thanks for showing up. Okay, here we go. Alaska. Hey, we like royalty paying publishers in Alaska. Paper Gold Publishing. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Erica asks, what do you suggest for marketing wide? Because a lot of promo companies only get link clicks through to Amazon. Yeah, if all of our, that's a great question because we get this a lot. I wish every platform was as easy of marketing as Amazon is, but not everyone is. For the going wide strategy, definitely utilize everything that we have at PublishDrive, featured positions, stuff like that, secured reviews, whatever. But also look into the social media aspects of it too, where you're pushing that out as well. Social media is a great. Google AdWords. I know a lot of people who've had good success with that. So in your going wide strategy, every platform is. So do those couple of things. Look into your social media because it's an easy way to reach large, huge audiences within that. And then each platform itself will have some marketing features as well. You know, Kobo does and stuff like that. And then I would look into that as well. Now, if you're going into, like, if you really want to push into like foreign countries outside of North America, right, where I am, there are some different strategies that people use, but one of the big ones that we all can utilize is social media for that. So I would look into that and see what kind of ads and stuff that you can run if that's a strategy you want to use. So I hope that answers the question for you. Yes. Okay. Yes, Chris, you're going to get a copy of this webinar. His boss keeps bothering him at work. Super funny. Okay, here we go. What is more important or valuable, to have a foreword or lots of reviews on the back? Great question. You could have both. Forewords are really important, especially if you have someone who writes the foreword that's famous, right? My good friend Diana was going to get a famous chef to do a foreword, and she asked me if she should do that. I said, yeah, because that definitely help with metadata and search results and stuff like that. So yeah, someone famous. If you can get someone famous in a foreword, do it. And also regarding reviews on the back, also very important. I would put blurbs front, back, wherever you can squeeze them in that it looks good. Those are important as well. And I'll give you an example, especially if you have somebody a big name on that too, would be great. Or a reputable book reviewer or something like that. Those are also awesome. But Joe Conrath, for example, the guy I keep using as an example, Joe always gets Lee Child to do all of his blurbs. So yes, Lee Child's one of the biggest. Joe sold millions of books. Lee sold like 100 million books, right? And Lee's a big name. So yeah, if you can get anything like that on the back of your blurb or on a book cover, yeah, do it. So for sure, I would do both if you can do both. Absolutely. What are the top social media sites to use? Obviously, Facebook is huge, but there are a lot of them, especially and foreign ones too. I just went through a whole list. I don't mess with those, so I can't speak to that quite yet. But Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those are some good ones. And there are some other ones that people use, But those are the three main ones for sure here in the US. Oh, I'm thinking, does PublishDrive offer cover evaluations? Hey, that's a great question. So in the past, we've actually done that. We've run these promotions to give like, just feedback on covers and stuff like that. We should do it again. You know what? Maybe we will. Also, our support team, if there's a major issue with the cover, they're going to let you know. But they won't go into as depth. They don't have time to look at every cover and evaluate and stuff like that. But maybe, hey, if you're not already, join the PublishDrive Facebook group. It's called Write More, Worry Less, and you can go check that out. And we'll just run a promotion. Maybe I'll just do it this week or something and announce it. That's a great idea. I have an ebook and a hard copy book. What can I do with you? So you can distribute your ebooks through us currently. If your paperback or hardcover is through other companies, totally fine. We've been working on something for many months since last year that I don't have an announcement for, but I'll just hint at it that we may or may not be able to handle the print side of things in the very near future. So, Guy, stay tuned. You can do all of your the great thing about our platform too is, say you've already gone directly with some stores, Amazon or other stores, that's fine. You could still upload your book, and if you continue to want to go directly with those stores, you can, or you could turn them on our platform, but then you could just do the rest through us too as well. So if you've gone directly with one store and you want to go through the rest through us, you can totally do that. So you have complete control of all of that. Nina, thank you so much. I'm going to successfully publish my book. Hey, I'm glad, Nina. Good luck. Reach out if you need any help. Okay. Darren asks, why should I use you and not D2D? Great question. We get that a lot. I mean, there are a few competitors that we have in this field, in this industry for sure. And you have options. So I would hope that you would use us for a few different reasons, and hopefully I answered that in the presentation. But our distribution, it's quite wide, 400 plus stores around the world, including the big 5 here, like I mentioned before. We have a lot of awesome marketing features available to you. And we have a lot of cool tools within the system that you can use. You're also going to love the analytics that we have available to you on your dashboard. It's kind of like Book Report, but on steroids. You could filter through, so you're always going to know which book is selling, which title selling the best, and which store it's selling the best, and which country. You can filter through all of your different kinds of books. If you have a lot of books to upload all at once, you can do a mass upload through us. We do this a lot with publishing houses that have hundreds or thousands of books, but a lot of individual authors as well who have, hey, I got 25 books. I don't want to upload these individually. Can you help me? Oh yeah, it's very, very simple. We make it very easy for you just to upload all of that. A lot of cool little features in there. I encourage you to check it out, Darren. If it's and just compare and see what you like. I think you'll love it. Another question. Here we go. Oh, Nina's from Kansas City. Hey, love Kansas City. Been there a few times. Spokane, Washington. Annette, welcome. Love Spokane. Virginia Beach. Never been, but I love Virginia. I went there just last year for the first time, which was great. And I love children's books. So Devorah, welcome. Question. Here's one. I have an ebook and a hard copy book. What can I do with you? Also, it will be in 3 editions: English, French, and Spanish. Oh, Guy, I think I kind of answered that. You can distribute all your ebooks through us. The print side of stuff, we're not quite there yet, but stay tuned for all of that. But the ebooks, for sure, we'll distribute all of that for you. Is it possible to get a copy of the presentation and slides out? I will definitely send you one, and you'll get a copy of the slides, the recording of this presentation, and you'll also get the book marketing checklist. How do we know we can trust the reviewers to not steal our ideas? Who are these people? I basically trust people, by the way. Okay, thanks, Nina. That's a great question. And thanks for putting that in. You do trust people. The reviewers, if you're going to send it to reviewers, make sure that they're legitimate reviewers, people who do this for a living, by the way. Generally speaking, I've never come across, I know this is always a fear for all of us writers, I've never come across a reviewer who stole an idea. Clearly, it's copyrighted material. They only have access to your book for 28 days. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, people write about the same stuff all the time. If it's a blatant copyright infringement, then you can sue them and get that stuff removed. All of the platforms are really big on making sure there's no copyright infringements. So if you see, like we've seen Harry Potter come through our platform a few times that we've obviously had to reject, right? But if somebody is a blatant stole your ideas, copyright infringements, you just inform us, or you inform whatever platform you're on, inform Amazon, and they'll remove it. They're really good about stuff like that. So I hope that eases your worries there. Okay, please discuss where to build a simple free website. I write picture books. Hey, I love picture books. I do them myself. I do the writing part. I don't do the drawing part. I wish I could do both. But great question. So there's a few ways you could build websites. Wix.com is a great place, and I don't get anything from these people, so you know. I've used them and I'm happy with them. Wix.com, Weebly.com. These are free or very affordable ways to build websites because they have templates. Anybody can use them. You don't have to be a programmer to do these. It's basically, hey, I'm an author. They'll give you a couple author templates. You can use those. You can start from scratch. It's drag and drop kind of stuff. GoDaddy has one called GoCentral that's good that I've used. I've used all three of these to build sites. And I literally can do it in a couple hours. And so once you get good at it, so I would try those. Question is, I just published 3 books to PublishDrive with the goal of reaching readers in China, but I was already wide available on Amazon, Kobo, iBooks, and Smashwords. When I set up, I chose all platforms. Was that a mistake? Yeah, just Annette, just all you have to do is go into either you could do it yourself or just email support@publishdrive.com. And they'll go in and just fix it all for you. Just tell them the situation. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to clear that up super fast. You don't want to be on Amazon directly and then click the store Amazon through us. It can create problems. And so just email support. They'll take care of it for you if you don't know how to go into the dashboard and do it yourself. So support@publishdrive.com. They're awesome. They'll take care of you. What are your thoughts on entering book competitions? In poking around, I see that many are not very explicit about judging criteria. Hey, Jill, thanks. Jill is quite active on our Facebook group. I think this is the same Jill. Anyways, yeah, so book competitions, I encourage them as long as they're reputable. I get hit up by book competitions all the time where they want me to pay a bunch of money to like try to win an award, and I'm not cool with that. And so if you can find reputable ones, like meaning ones that people have heard of, and if you've never heard of them and you do a quick Google search and don't know, just go into a forum and ask, either on Goodreads or in a Facebook group, whatever. Just ask, hey, have you guys heard of this? And I was just part of one on some group discussion. Somebody said, hey, these people keep reaching out to me. Have you heard of this? And a bunch of people responded. So I would definitely, I'm a big fan of award competitions. It's a great way to sell books because you can say in your book description, an award winner, right? And so, or a nominee. So it's really important that you get those. I'm a big fan of competitions, but I would just be careful which ones you just look into it a little bit, do a little homework. I have 2 famous, Diana, she's gonna get 2 famous shows. Forewords, I could feel it. Introductions, great. And working on somebody else, that's fantastic. Oh, guy asked, hey, someone famous for a foreword, do you pay them for a foreword? You know, I've heard people actually paying people to do it, but mostly it's people they have a relationship with, and the person's happy to write that foreword for them. Maybe there's somebody who goes out there and does it, but for most of the time, if somebody is going to write a foreword for you, they have some vested interest in you, like in your topic, in your book or something. Like they're a believer in it. They're a friend of yours. They believe in your work, stuff like that. But I've never paid a person I don't generally use forewords, but I've never paid anybody to do it. I have known some people to do that though. Oh, hey, Deborah from Canada. It's easy to understand money management. When books are sent to non-English sellers, how is translation dealt with? Author handles it? Okay, great question. So for example, I can't speak to other platforms, but in ours, we handle all of that for you. You're going to love the reporting. So if you're selling books in foreign countries, don't worry about it. You'll get your money. You'll be able to download all of, the spreadsheets and stuff that you need for your accounting purposes, stuff like that. But when it comes to, foreign sales, don't worry about it. Platforms like ours handle all of that. I can't speak to other platforms, but for ours, for sure, we'll handle it. So you can feel safe and secure that we'll do all the processing for you. Do you have a minimum size of book that we can publish? I have a little prequel that's only a little over 12,000 words and would like to publish it through PublishDrive. Hey, thank you, Julie. Yeah, we would love to have you. We don't. Nope, we don't. We have no minimum requirements. 12,000 words is perfect. It's a short story. It's great. Or a shorter book. Shorts, and anywhere from that size range, 2,000, whatever. Doesn't matter. We have people who do who will use the platform to do just like quick little poetry, like a few pages of poetry books that they offer for free to people as just promo and stuff. We have that come on there, and that's like 600 words or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, go for it. Love to have you on there. Okay, social platforms now force authors to pay to play. Your thoughts? Yeah, I've seen some of that going around. There's organic ways of doing it, and there are Facebook experts or social media experts out there that I listen to. I use social media experts to do a lot of the stuff I'll do, like through social media, like the advertising. I just use them because they're better at it. If you don't have the money or the time or really the resources to do that and you want to figure it out on your own, yeah, I heard some of them are doing that. But there's organic ways of doing it too. So I would look into that, organically reaching an audience, growing that social platform, stuff like that. Participating in forums is really, really important, like in Goodreads, in really any kind of writing forum, and Facebook groups or anything like that. It's a good way to build credibility, even on YouTube, to be active in that kind of stuff. No one wants to see you outright promote stuff, and most groups will kick you out for that. But once you build like some kind of credibility within those groups, you have opportunities to sell your books that way by being a participant in forums. I know it's time consuming, believe me, it is, but it's a free way to actually get out there and sell your books. I didn't go into this in a more in-depth marketing things. We'll talk about stuff like that to more organically to grow those kinds of things, and to use the power of videos to sell your books, stuff like that. That could be shared organically throughout your social media and stuff like that. And so that'll definitely be other topics for webinars. So yeah, there are people that are forcing you to pay, but there are free ways to do it. So I would encourage you to research that kind of stuff. I sent a request to write more to join several days ago. No response yet. Patricia, let me go see, because I'm the guy in charge. So you got me. If you haven't done something. Oh, I will say this though, and maybe this is what's happened. When you go to log in or to join Write More, Worry Less, the Facebook group, you have to answer 3 questions. And if you didn't answer those 3 questions because they would pop up, and if you didn't answer those and submit a request, then I actually have to email you those questions, because we need a verbal yes or not a verbal, just a yes on the last one. And so it'll probably come today. I'll probably end up emailing you, Patricia, or messaging you on Facebook about that. And most people do. They just don't answer the questions or skip the page or whatever. But we have a strict rule that you have to understand that. And it's the one we need a yes to, is that you're not going to promote unless it's like a promotion day, which we're running today right now in a thread, because there's a lot of people who come on and all they do is just throw up their promotions, and we kick them out because no one wants to see that. We want you to be a contributor to the group. So I hope that makes sense. But look at that for me, Patricia. I'll send that out today. Does PublishDrive publish on Amazon as well, or do we need to do that ourselves separately? Nope. You could publish through us. And the cool thing is that you have access to all of the same features that you would on Amazon, and on the other stores too. you even get some more by going through us, just some more stuff that opens up. Like if you want to go through Google Play, through our contracts, a little better than what most people can get on their own individually, if they can get in to Google Play individually, which it can get pretty hard. And so you can get a better deal. But through Amazon, yes, you can go through us. Just click on that channel in the dashboard. It's super easy to do. The only thing you don't have access to if you go through us is the Kindle Select program, because no one has access to that. Because Kindle Select means that you only sell on Amazon, and that's it if you do that program. So then obviously you don't have that access, but everything else, free reign. Great questions, everybody. Where may I view PublishDrive fees? Oh, so if you go to our website, there's a pricing page. And in fact, I can answer that for you right now. Let me just share my screen again. I'll tell you about it. I just did a video on this, actually. Boom. Okay, price. There's a right at the top. Oh, let me share my screen. Give me a second. Screen. Let me see. So hopefully you can see that. Let me make it big. So on the pricing page, or if you're on PublishDrive.com and you go to the pricing page or a tab right here at the top, it'll talk to you about the differences. But basically, I'll explain real quick. There's two different pricing options. One is a royalty share and one is a subscription option. The royalty shares basically works like this. You don't pay anything up front or anything. PublishDrive makes money when you sell books. So if you sell anytime you sell an ebook, PublishDrive will take 10% of the list price. So for example, if you were to sell your book for $3.99, say on Amazon, Amazon would get their 30%. Can't stop that. PublishDrive would take 10% and you would keep 60%. And in this case, that would be $2.39. And then if you had 500 sales in a month, that would be $1,197. Or if you had 1,000 sales in a month, that would be $2,394. So the royalty share option is ideal for authors who are earning less than $1,000 per month from their ebook sales. Now, if you're an author who's earning more, you're earning $1,000 or more every month, we have a different pricing option. That's really cool because it'll save you money. And that's what we call the subscription option. So instead of paying 10% royalties, you keep that royalty. Instead, you would pay a $100 flat fee per month, and you could upload up to 100 books. So what that looks like in the example, say if you listed your book for $3.99 on Amazon, then Amazon would get their 30%, you would keep 70%, and then you would make $2.70 per title. And how that compares is if you had 500 sales a month, that would come out to $1,296 compared to the latter. And then if you had 1,000 sales in a month, that would come out to $2,600 compared to $2,394 on the royalty option. So if you're having a higher volume of sales, then the subscription option is definitely the better option because it'll save you money. And in this case, you would have kept $300 more. And so, but it's only ideal for authors earning $1,000 or more. So let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, great question though. And because I can't share my screen and look at questions, so that's why I have to stop sharing my screen. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Bobby, if you have any questions, just email me. If you want to talk on the phone, we can do that too. How do we get our books into libraries worldwide? Oh, it's simple. We have access to 240,000 digital libraries. Upload them into the platform. You'll be able to mark all of it. It's really simple. We do that through our partnering stores. So yeah, you have access to 240,000 digital libraries. If you're in 400 plus stores worldwide, does PublishDrive auto translate ebooks into the local languages? No, we don't do that. You still have to, if you want books in Spanish and stuff, you'll have to pay a translator to do that. We're just the distribution arm there. So sorry, we don't have that access to that. Karen from Sarasota, Florida, love it. From Michelle, many thanks for keeping this presentation short. It was helpful and appreciated. You're welcome. Sorry, well, questions sometimes run longer. The question is about Write More, Worry Less was from Patricia Parker in PA. Oh, thanks. Sorry, thanks, Patricia. Hey, I'll reach out to you. I'll do this right after the webinar, and you'll see a message from me in just a little bit. Okay, Metadata can be tricky. Okay, from Philip, metadata can be tricky and time-consuming process. Getting it right, especially at the beginning. Do you think a successful ad campaign can come over time? Can overcome this in terms of getting the book seen on various platforms? So there's nothing to replace metadata. I mean, we have to make sure our metadata is right, that we're choosing the right keywords, and a lot of the time it's just doing some research and then just trying stuff out, right? Seeing what works for you. But the BISEC codes especially are incredibly important. Now, here's a pro tip. If you're in the middle of a campaign or whatever, and your book sales are steady, and then for all of a sudden they start to drop off and you're not really changing anything, it's probably the metadata. So I would look into that to see what's changed, because metadata is constantly changing. What was working 2 or 3 years ago is probably not working today because they're constantly updating. So it's a good practice just to go in once a year, or every other year or whatever, and just go make sure your metadata is up to date and up to par. It is tricky and time consuming to learn, to look at. I would use in our platform, especially when it comes to BISEC codes, you can use our tool to help you with that. And then we also did a webinar several months ago. If you go to our the PublishDrive YouTube page, we did a webinar on metadata. That'll be very helpful for you people who are learning metadata still. Just trying to work it out. I mean, it's kind of a continual learning process just to make sure that you're doing it right. It's tricky in the beginning, I know. However, I would just learn it. A going wide strategy is going to work the best when the metadata is correct. So I hope that answers your question, Philip. When do you copyright your book and where? So you have a couple of, it's a great question, Devorah. So you have a couple of options here. Now, according to US law, once you write the work, it's already automatically has the copyright stamped on it. You can even put the little C right next to it in your disclaimer there. However, some people actually want to send it in, and I've never done this, but people do this. You can actually send it in and pay like a fee to get an official thingy from the copyright office from the federal US government. If you want to do that, you can do that. Just Google it. But it's not legally, it's not necessary. You could just put a little copyright thing and your name in your book. So here's a book. Here's one of the children's books I've done. Hold on, let me show you my copyright page. Sorry if you could see it. Hopefully you could see that. I just put a little C in there. I mean, you can pay for it too. So I just Google it and it'll tell you how to do it. Diana, thanks, Guy. Thanks for answering, Guy from Montreal. When I ask famous or known people for a forward or an intro, do they expect to be paid or have a percentage of the sales? If you don't know them personally, sometimes they might ask for that. I don't know if there's a standard in this. I'm not familiar with that. I'm sorry. I don't think so. There might be, but I mean, if the forward is that important, like it's going to start selling you thousands of books, yeah, then I would work something out. Like whoever, if you got, I don't know, if you guys like American football, if you got Tom Brady doing your forward and you can say Tom Brady did my forward, yeah, it might be worth doing a deal with him. But I don't know if there's any kind of standard thing like there. I'll have to research that actually. If you will email me at adamwoods at PublishDrive.com, let's look into that. It's an interesting question. I'd like to figure it out. Annette, thank you. How long does it take to get onto all platforms? This is from Kevin. And how often do they report sales? So you should have a sales report every single month. However, but it's after the end of the month, so towards the beginning of the following month, you should have a sales report. But getting on to every platform, it varies. Now you'll get onto like the big 5 here relatively quick. Amazon, Google Play, like I think it took me a week or something like that. When it comes to other stores, especially stores like China, China is still a censored state, so it's harder to get into China, and it takes a much longer process. And a lot of the other foreign stores, well, just foreign to Americans, or North America or whatever. Those can take a little while. A lot of it depends on their processes. And so sometimes it could take a couple of months to get on. It took me a few months to get on one of the platforms, and a lot of it is just the review process is much slower. So kind of a pain, but just try to be patient with that. But we'll get you into the big five really fast, and then the other stores you get uploaded to relatively quickly. Overdrive, stuff like that. Sometimes they take a break and we let you know, but most of the time we can get you in pretty fast. So there's not a definitive answer there, but it takes a couple of days for the major stores, and then for some of the smaller retailers, it'll take a little bit longer. Where do we find your old webinar recordings? If you go to YouTube and find PublishDrive's YouTube page, you can do that. Or if you just go to PublishDrive.com and click on the Author Success corner, really simple, you'll see all of the webinars and stuff that we've done there. Hey, Mike, welcome from North Freedom, Wisconsin. Never been to Wisconsin. Got to check it out. I will definitely be transferring all my books from D to D over to PublishDrive. This is from Erica. Now you can have multiple pen names on PD, correct? Correct. Yep, absolutely, 100%. You can have multiple pen names. From Philip, so we could still utilize AMS ads in Amazon though through PublishDrive. Hey, Philip. He's asking if he could use Amazon advertising while going through the PublishDrive platform. Oh man, Philip, just tune in on Thursday, January 31st, and we'll have a great answer for you. I hope that helps. Did I understand? This is from Jerry. Did I understand this correctly? I have self-published 4 novels. You'd be able to use the ISBN to transfer the books to ebook. Also, this is the best webinar. This is the best webinar I've attended this year. Yes, yes. Hey, thanks for the props, Jerry. Best webinar he's attended this year, given it's January 29th. But hey, first 29 days of the year, I'm the best webinar. I'll take it. Boom. Thank you. Yes. So ISBNs are a little, I just want to make sure I understand your question. So I'm going to explain all the ISBN things. So if you have 4 novels, so novels, hardbacks and paperbacks all have different ISBN numbers because they're different versions of that same book. And ebooks also have a different ISBN number. Now, if you own all of those ISBN numbers and you want to get your book into ebook format, or when we're doing print, you want to go directly through us or whatever, as long as you own those ISBNs, it's super easy to do. However, with ebooks, you no longer need an ISBN. In fact, you can still use an ISBN number, don't get me wrong. And if you want to switch from platform to platform, it makes it a little easier down the road. But for example, if you were on to Amazon and you use their free ebook version of an ISBN number, which is called an ASIN number, if that's the case, then you cannot, you have to pull the book from Amazon and stop using, you have to just basically pull the book, and then you have to actually get a whole new ASIN number from us that is transferable. You can actually take that number wherever you want. It's actually a pretty easy process. We have a little step-by-step thing you can do to just walk you right through that. It's pretty easy. And our support team can help you with that if you run into any stumbling blocks or whatever. So you need ISBN numbers for a paperback. You need a different ISBN number for a hard copy. You need a different ISBN number / ASIN number for an ebook. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, email me at adamwoods@publishdrive.com and we could talk about it, or we can even set up a call. Thanks, Adam. I have to run. Hey, Hollis, thank you for attending. Darren again, my debut novel came out in July. Would you set up an account now, or is it not worth it yet? Should I wait? Oh, it's coming out. No, set it up now. No reason. You can go play around and see what you have. If your novel's coming out in July, go set it up now. Totally. Yeah, totally do it. Because then you have access to everything. You can see how the platform works, how easy it is to upload books, whatever. You just have access to cool stuff. So I wouldn't wait till July. Go on there now. It's pretty simple. You can save money by copywriting a series if you really want. Yep, absolutely. You can do that. That's from Paper Gold Publishing. Like I said, I don't do it. Maybe I should. It's up to you how you guys want to handle the copyright issue. Oh, would you please provide your fee schedule link or redisplay? Ray, yeah, no problem. And Ray had another question. Nope, you just said thanks. Yeah, I'll put that up on the screen really. Oh, but I can't answer questions if I do that. Let me try it. Actually, let me try it. I'll put it up on screen. But it's just, if you go to PublishDrive.com, Ray, and just click on the pricing tag, it's a pricing tab. It's right at the top. It's PublishDrive.com. And then I'll put it up really quick. So let me share my screen. Let me try to answer questions and do that. Okay, so it's up there. You can see my desktop. So maybe it'll let me answer questions. I think so. Okay, Ray, it's up. Pricing, it's PublishDrive.com, and then just click on pricing. Oh, what time on January 31st? Patricia wants to know. We're gonna send out an email blast. The normal stuff. We'll have a video. If you go to our Facebook group, which I'll invite you to, I'll answer that. It'll be announced on there, all through our channels and stuff. If you just go onto Facebook and look at PublishDrive, you'll see the announcement there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I'm doing a video on it. Boom. I agree. This is one of the best. Oh, Erica. Hey, yes. #2 vote for best webinar. Thanks, Erica. Very kind of you guys. This is also the best webinar I've attended since publishing my book in 2017. What? Patricia. Boom. Thank you. Very kind words. Chris, best of the year webinar goes to Adam and Steve. Chris in Seattle. You guys rock. You're funny. You're awesome. Thank you. I understand the royalty fee you charge, but are there other charges as well to get my books into stores? Great question, Michael. So he's asking, I understand the royalty fee, but are there any charges to get my book into the store? So we don't charge you anything. We only make money when you sell books. And so it's free to use our system. All those marketing features I showed you, those are all free. The dashboard, all the analytics you have option to. We don't have like a premium package or anything like that where you actually pay. The only time you're going to pay out of pocket ahead of time is if you did the subscription option, which only makes sense for you if you're making $1,000 or more every single month on your ebook sales. Other than that, don't even worry about it. But no, we don't have any no hidden costs, no upfront fees, nothing like that. Jerry, you're killing me. Jerry says, let me restate that. Best webinar this decade. Definitely. That is so funny. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay. If I purchase ISBN numbers in bulk, can I share it with another author? Absolutely, Karen. So people do this all the time. In fact, in the United, it's only this, I'm speaking towards the United States. So if you're in Canada or whatever, the government of Canada controls ISBN numbers there, the sales of ISBN numbers. But here in the United States, you can go to Bowker.com. That's BOWKER.com for those of you who don't know. Bowker, I call it Bowker, but I think it's Bowker. Anyways, they have the right to sell ISBN numbers here. And so you can buy those in bulk and use them and distribute them however you want. So actually a lot of people like other platforms and stuff like that, they'll buy these in bulk and then just sell them. Like you could buy, I forgot what the pricing is at Bowker right now. It's like, I can't remember. I don't even want to say, but it's expensive for one. And if you buy 10 at a time, it's the best deal or whatever. You know what I mean? But you can actually go buy one from somebody else that's for cheaper because they bought it in bulk. So yeah, you could do whatever you want with those. But once the person buys it from you, they own it. So there just has to be some transference of ownership there. So that's it. Great seminar. Thanks. I look forward. All right, Guy. Thank you. Thanks, Ray. Thank you. Chris, you're awesome. You guys are funny. Okay, Ray, how do I sign up? It's really simple. If you can still see my screen, let me see if you can. Let me open that. If you're on the PublishDrive website, just go to sign up right here in the top right corner, and it'll take you to this page right here. Super simple. That's it. You fill this out, you'll get access to it, and then we ask you some questions, like some onboarding questions. We like to know where you are in the process, stuff like that, like so we know how to help you and what kind of access to topics and stuff or blog posts or anything that you might need. But it's pretty simple. Yeah, super simple. Great question. Okay, here we go. I think we're almost to it. From Massachusetts, a number 3 for the best. Dude, you guys are awesome. Super funny. Karen, super nice. Karen, I agree. Best webinar ever. Later, Chris, he's saying bye. It's ridiculous we have to pay so much for ISBNs. Yeah, so Kevin says it's ridiculous we have to pay so much for ISBNs. I'll just bring it up really quick. Let me go to Bowker. So Bowker.com. Let me see what their current pricing is. United States, order ISBN numbers. Here we go. Thank you. It's never taken that long to get to it. Yeah, so okay, here we go. So yeah, one ISBN number currently on Bowker for one is $125. 10 ISBN numbers is $295, and then 100 is $575. And some people buy these in like the thousands, you know what I mean? And so they get it for cheaper. For us, for self-published authors, especially if we're working on a budget, we don't have unlimited resources here. I feel you're paying. At least with PublishDrive, you get a free ASIN number for free that's transferable to. You can take it wherever you want. So that's pretty cool. So we'll help alleviate a lot of that pain. Most stores and ebook platforms don't require an ISBN number. There might be an obscure store, one or two, that will still want an ISBN number. And for that, if you really want to be into that store, just put in an ISBN number. But hopefully we can help out with that. So yeah, it's pretty pricey. It can get pretty pricey, especially if you're putting out a lot of content. Very informative. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for being here. And Patricia says, if you're an author and have Kindle Unlimited, you have to get out of that before using PublishDrive. Yes, there's typically a 90-day waiting period, in fact. And it's just not us. It's just if you're in Kindle Select, that gives you access to the Kindle Unlimited program, you're just not allowed to sell that book anywhere else. And so whether you're in PublishDrive, even if you want to go directly to Kobo, you can't. And so you just have to deregister, or not deregister. You just got to pull that from the Kindle Select program, and then you got to wait a certain time period. I mean, you're still selling your books on Amazon and stuff like that during that period, but then once you've done the time that you need to get out of that, then you could put it on other books. For example, like on us on PublishDrive. So great question. That's the end of our questions. You guys are awesome. Email me if you have any questions, if we need to set up a call, whatever. I'm here for you. You guys rock. Take care. And I'm ending this thing.